All right, we're back. It's another week. Still Dark Souls, but this time this guy's gone. Dragonslayer. We defeated in the last episode in the the 5-part episode 12 saga, as it were. So I've got a pretty good game plan today. Let's see how much of it we can get done. Goal for today: take down the Consumed King. Will it happen? I'm going to give it about a 60% chance. Mildly optimistic. But the first thing we're doing is we're actually going to make our way towards the princess. We are going to basically get all the way up there and activate the elevator shortcut. Because in doing so, we're actually just... There's going to be a Titanite slab we can grab. One of many. There's actually like a handful we can get here, but I figured, well, you know, even though we won't necessarily go straight for them, it wouldn't hurt just to go ahead and activate that elevator anyways and get through this area. And that way, when it's time to come back and fight them, we'll just have very quick and easy access to them. And then that way, you know, along the way, we just go ahead and grab that Titanite slab, get this sword up to +10, and we'll be good. What's up, Crystal Sage? Really showed you up last time. Ooh. Oh, you're gonna take quite a bit to kill. Maybe we won't worry about you. I suppose that's something I could just not not worry about, huh? Where are we going? I think I ran past it. Probably should have rested at the bonfire too, I guess. Whatever. I'm probably gonna run through most of this area, the vast majority of it, if I can get away with it. I think there's actually, if I could find it, I think there's a lever here that you can pull, that, there it is. Activates a bookshelf somewhere over there. And I believe there's actually a Titanite slab here, also. If I remember correctly. That is not a mimic. Witch's locks. It's not what I thought it was. Here's this. Power within. Oh well. Anyways, I know the location of the Titanite slab I want to get, so we're good. But we're going to get that, and then we're going to go to the Consumed Garden and start working our way through there. So that's not where I want to go either. I'm so used to just clearing out this area. I'm not really thinking about it. Or not, like, trying to rush through. Because it's real easy to, like, have that happen. First death of the night. Starting strong. It's real easy to have stuff like that happen in this area. That's why I kind of just want to rush through it. There's not really anything here in particular that I need. I just need to get through. But then after, so like the Consumed King, I mean, we'll talk more about it when we get there. That's a fight I really I do not know what to expect from that fight. So that's when we're definitely gonna have to, you know, figure out, you know, once we get there, is this something that's going to take some time, or is it one that I feel like I could probably get down relatively quickly? Because I've heard both scenarios. I've heard many people talk about that fight as if it's just the biggest pain in the butt. But then I've actually also heard a couple of people say that it wasn't that bad for them, so hopefully it's not that bad for us. So after Dragonslayer Armour, I would like a little bit of a break. So here, I can drop down. I'm going to take the ladder, though. We're getting relatively close to, I think, like, the first shortcut. Crystal Sage usually shows up there. We're not going to worry about it. Here we go. Let's take it down. Shortcut number 1. And we're good. Okay, back up. If we are able to take down the Consume King tonight, I'm actually probably gonna go straight to Archdragon Peak instead of continue. Like, I'll continue on to the next bonfire, in that kind of that line, but we'll probably go to Archdragon Peak just so I can get that dragon taken care of. Because at that point, after those two, we'll have four bosses left. And then we'll be open to like 3 different bosses that we can try at kind of any given point, which will be pretty nice. Almost there. Oh, man. Come on. I am legit afraid of the Lothric Prince's battle. That fight. I fear for my sanity. That is a fight that I feel like I've done pretty well on with all of my other characters. But, I don't know, I'm scared of it. At this point, it's like, I feel like I can sit here and be like, yeah, that fight probably won't be that bad. I think I'll be fine. And then the way Dragonslayer went, it's just all bets are off. I do think in a weird way, Dragonslayer, even though I only died, I died like 30 more times around then, like around 30 or so more on the Dancer and Pontiff. Like, I died against them more, a lot more. I still feel like Dragonslayer might have taken the most out of me for various reasons. All of which I feel like I've already kind of talked about, so I don't want to retread the same, like, 5 points. Don't really need that. Alright, well, just in case something really bad happens here, let's go ahead and knock that ladder down. If you're watching, and you know what this does, I initially thought maybe it prevented those people, like maybe they would just see me as their own and wouldn't attack. And maybe it does. But I feel like I've still been attacked with my head dunked in the wax. So if that does I'm sure that does something. I would like to know, though. Just out of curiosity. Alright, checkpoint. Or shortcut number 2. Not bad. We are practically through the Grand Archives, which is nice. Okay. And it's opened up, yep. Good. I was not wanting this to take very long. Some minor setup, some little, some stuff we'd have to do first, but... And then there's just one more. And look at this. I really, really like this approach. It's actually funny, for some reason, this elevator up here, I passed by so many times before I finally noticed it. Like, I just did not see this for the longest time. And when I finally did, it was like, oh, okay, alright. Whoa. Sure, I'll take it. I guess some of those people kind of tried to follow me. Some more Titanite chunks, not going to complain there. Alright, so then I need to activate it, bring it back up. This thing confused me too, even though we've already seen it. Like, you saw it earlier with a Sigurd. This thing really threw me for a loop the first time. I was like, oh, cool, like an even better shortcut to that boss fight. And then I hopped on. And was like, wait a minute, hold on. Something's not right here. But here we are. So goal number 1 achieved. We have the Titanite slab. We can get our weapon to +10. That'll be good. And I feel like at that point, so we'll have a +10 weapon. The only thing left really will be, I'll probably want to go ahead and try to get all the Estus shards. There might be a couple I've skipped. I'm not sure. But I want to do that just so I have all 15. Maybe we can do that tomorrow or something. We'll see how things go tonight. But we're pretty much at a point where now is really just going for the bosses and killing them, and we're getting real close to the end. Hopefully. So let's go back to Firelink. Level up this weapon. Did I get any more? No. Okay. Alright, +10, so we'll be at 292. Not bad. So now it's all about skill. It's all about being that good. And then, let's go. I guess this will be the bonfire. So we got one more shortcut to open up down in the Consumed Garden. Another one that I never really... I guess I didn't really find, because at first, like my first character, I didn't really explore the Consumed Garden all that much. So it wasn't until like the second time around where I actually went looking around that it was like, oh, there's actually this elevator here, and there's this whole other area that I can use to open up this door. It makes it a little bit easier to get back to that boss. Which we're gonna want. We're gonna want a little bit of a shorter path. So almost there. The plan for this fight is I'm gonna give him a decent amount of tries with no shield. Just me and my sword. And if it becomes something that I feel like it'll be much less of a pain or a hassle if I just use the shield and suck it up, then I'll probably go ahead and do that. But I want to try to do it without a shield. I've come this far with no shield. I'd like to kind of try to continue that if possible, but I've read from so many different people on various places online that you're better off just going ahead and using a shield, specifically the one that we have, the crest, whatever, grass crest shield, I think. And that just makes it so much less of a pain. So if that does end up being the case, we'll probably go ahead and do it. Because like I said, you know, the point of this playthrough is to do it at soul level 1. You know, nothing else too fancy. There are people who are doing much harder playthroughs out there that you can watch, but this one's really just to show that, hey, it's doable, and you can do it and not lose your sanity. Which at some points I thought maybe I was wrong. Maybe you do have to be insane. But I'm still feeling good about this. So we're gonna take this elevator up. I've only died 429 times. It's not that bad. So there are some enemies up here. I actually don't really remember. I don't think they're too bad. I don't think it's anything that awful, if I remember correctly. Got an archer. Oh, we got a thrall. Yeah, I mean, we can run past these guys. And then we can open this door. And there we are. So I believe, if I remember correctly... Oh, well. Yeah, that was bound to happen. If I remember correctly, I think on like the way down on that elevator, there's a place we can jump off at that kind of... once again, like, offers a little bit of a quicker way to the boss. It's mostly just nice because it makes it so we don't have to run through, or run past those kind of infected guys. Which is always nice. And I'm assuming it's a little bit shorter. Hopefully this is a run that we're not going to have to make a whole lot. Fingers crossed. Alright, so I think it might be... Oh! No. Yeah, it's right there. I guess they are kind of small enough to fit in there. We've only died like 4 times this episode. We're already 20 minutes in. That's progress. I guess compared to the last few streams where it was pretty much entirely boss fights. Feel good. I just want to be able to like take this guy down in one shot. It's first try. It's nothing. I don't know. I've never had trouble against this boss. I don't actually know if I've ever died against him on any of my other characters. Maybe I have, maybe once or twice, but I really, like, in all the times I fought him, I've never had trouble. I expect that to change tonight. For obvious reasons. Okay. But if nothing else, like the reason why I don't know what to expect from it is just because it's a fight that I've always been pretty fine at. Like I've never had any trouble. You know, I've always dealt with it just fine. Under very different circumstances, of course. So we'll see. This is a really cool fight, though. Ocelot. So Osiris? The Consumed King. Alright, round 1. Here we go. Alright, not bad damage. So I want to get away from that. This is one I'm tempted to just like not log on to him that much. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. I might go switch back and forth. Okay. It's really close. So phase 2 starts here. This is what I've read about the most, about being just really annoying. Yikes, okay. I understand now. So I guess, apparently, when he charges, it's one hit in that second phase. And it's the kind of thing that, like, in that scenario, he charged to the wall, so he didn't really move forward. But he was still charging, and I was standing under him, so I got hit. And I guess, like, the hitbox on that charge is brutal. Apparently it is just insane. And so because it's a one hit, it's very easy for fights to end like that. Where is... There it is, my pencil. So we got... We'll just call him the king. That's one. Apparently, using a shield, like the Grass Crest shield, I guess because it's it'll block damage. Like, it'll get staggered, but I guess he doesn't have a follow-up to it, so it's not a big deal. And I guess, like, having that shield actually makes the fight really not that bad. And he didn't seem too bad. The tail swipe, like, when he spins around, not a one-hit, and again, he doesn't really have follow-ups to it, so it's kind of easy to just go ahead and heal. Whereas in some of the previous bosses, like Dragonslayer and the Dancer, maybe you don't have as much time to heal. And so in something like this, it's actually not that bad. So like I said, I want to give him a handful of tries without a shield to see if maybe I can make it work. But if that's how it's gonna go, you know, I would not... I totally understand why having a shield is kind of recommended. just so you don't like lose your mind, and also because I don't want to. You know, the more bosses that I can take down, like the less that we have to deal with being stuck on a boss for like 4 hours or something, the better. You know, if this was something that I was just doing for myself and I wasn't streaming or recording at all, you know, people were watching, I kind of value people's times. I'm always thankful for people watching stuff like this, so I don't want to waste people's time if it's something that I end up being stuck on forever, but I'd like to at least see if it's feasible. And also like to just get to the fight in general more than once. That run back doesn't seem too bad. It's not the best. There have been better. But it's not terrible. Still like enemies you need to deal with, but it's fine. Damage-wise, I feel like I was doing pretty good damage. I think I might need to be a little more mindful of my stamina. Because he's so different from Dragonslayer. You know, that's a fight where it's like, very specifically, it's like, okay, 1 or 2 hits here, 1 or 2 hits here. This is a fight where you could just, you know, you could swing quite a bit and and have a lot of opportunities for multiple strikes, and it'd probably be easy to kind of forget about your stamina management as much as normal, right? So that's something I need to watch, because there was a few times there that I was pretty low, or I had very little or none. So I need to be mindful of that. Alright, round 2 coming up. Let's see what the Rotten Pine Resin does. See if that is any sort of good boost here. It's not bad. A little bit. Oh. Maybe I should try to stay locked on as much as I can. That one, obviously, he jumped up, so it's a little bit different in that case, but I think I'm also going to want to stay behind him. Typically, when I fight him, I actually stay under him. And even though like I might take a hit or two, that's not a big deal. In this scenario, I'm probably going to want to stay behind him as much as I can. And I guess if he jumps and then lands down, hopefully you'll be able to kind of roll and negate that. We'll see. Okay, round 3. Feeling good. This is another fight where second phase starts at like 70% health instead of what you might expect. Okay. Yeah. I am not crazy about his location right now. What are we looking at?
What could you possibly fear? No. No. Show yourself, Ocelot. My dear little Ocelot.
Alright, avoid that. Maybe if I'm lucky get a few swings on that tail, but... Oh, narrowly missed that. And that. Yeah. I see this being a real problem. That's 3. Let's give him 2 more without a shield. See if maybe I'm able to learn some timing on that charge. And if not, then we'll try the shield and we'll see like how that differs. Because I imagine that would be a thing. I would just hold the shield up and then have the sword one-handed. And maybe take things a little slower. Which is fine, but if it's the type of thing that, you know, it's preventing instant death, like, it'd be nice. It'd be good to have. So. Still early goings on this fight. I would love to be able to take this guy down like in under 10 deaths though. I don't think that's gonna happen. It would be great. Oh, that's always a bummer. Do you feel like right when you feel like you get away, he just comes slamming down on you with a great sword. It's not great. Not a great feeling. This whole area right here, that bonfire, and then right up to this point, just that little run back from the Dragonslayer fight, just so many times. So many times. Do my best just to tune out our dog. kind of forget that he exists and he's barking 24/7 almost. Oh, I meant to hop off there. Consume King's Garden. Alright. Oh, I rolled. Come on. It's a test just getting to this fight. Just wait till the DLC comes out and we're back here doing some level 1 stuff. It's gonna be the best. I'm really, I don't know. Because I think like the first one's supposed to like be fall. So like it's still like a few months off. I'm wondering at what point we might start hearing things about it. So I'm trying to think, I'm trying to remember. The Old Hunters, we got a trailer for at TGS, so it was like late September, and that was about 2 months before. So if it's fall, probably wouldn't be at E3, I'd imagine. Maybe, I don't know. It would be cool. It would be really cool to see it there, but not expecting it. All right, dude. Just let me get past you. Thank you. So round 4 coming up. It's me and Osiris and his invisible baby Ocelot. This is where the story of Metal Gear Solid 5 went. Right? Something like that. That's a bummer. Let me move some of this around a little bit. Kind of get better situated here. It's 438. 438. It's not 500 though. We're not there yet. And if I have my way, we won't get there for a while. So one more try without a shield, at least for now, and of course I'd guess that a move like that I just died from, I think that's just more of timing on the roll or getting out of the way if it's possible. I thought I would have been out of the way there, but I guess it's also one hit if you get hit by his staff or whatever. Eventually I'll start getting really good at dodging this guy. There we go. It's kind of loop around him. Attempt number 5. This is the one. Those baby sounds. I'm gonna keep my distance here. Okay. I'm kind of stuck against that. Well, I guess I stay locked onto him when he jumps up, so that's actually probably for the best. Because then I have a pretty good idea of like when he's coming down and where.
Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come
Oh.
out. Come out. Don't be afraid. You're the child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, Ocelot. My dear little Ocelot.
Damage-wise, I'm good. I think I'm definitely okay with as far as like damage is concerned. And really just figuring out a good way to deal with that charge, whether it's a shield or something else. That seems to be the big deal. Maybe try to get as much damage done right here as possible. Okay. He does that. Right under him. It was perfect. God. $439. Crew. It's been a while. Welcome. That is exactly what I'm attempting to do. Oh, how have you been? I don't really stream that much. We're gonna pull out a shield. That's what people on the internet tell me to do with this fight. Which one is it? Something grass crest shield. So apparently this is the solution to all of my problems. I have not used the shield at all this entire game. I don't even know if I used the shield in Dark Souls 2. It has been a very long time. Let me look at this thing, actually. I guess specifically... Slightly speed stamina recovery. That'd be good. Oh, nice. What do you think so far? Which one of my 439 deaths was the best? There's been a lot of them. Well, thanks for coming and stopping by. This is gonna be a good time. So from what I read, basically when he charges or when he does something that like would maybe normally one-shot me, if I got my shield up, it'll eat all of my stamina and I'll be like stunned for a second. Not what I meant to do. But because he doesn't like immediately follow up any of his attacks with something like right away, you're okay being stun locked like that. And that basically saves you from a one-hit kill, like we've seen thus far. And it kind of allows me to recover, and it's a nice little thing to have. Should be good. Should be good. Plus, I get added stamina recovery. That's nice, too. See how much of a difference it makes being one- and two-handed with this sword. Oh, that's really good. I like that. Don't like that. I don't know why I chose the heal at all of all moments. Right there. 440. This seems like, at least of the bosses that I'm going to be trying multiple times, this seems like maybe one of the longer runbacks. Because the Dancer was very quick. Pontiff wasn't bad at all. Dragonslayer wasn't bad. Most of the other ones left really don't have... They're not that bad either. This one isn't either. There's just a handful of enemies in my way, and I've got like an elevator and some more to watch out for, so like dying immediately, like that's kind of a bummer. Got my shield up. What are you gonna do? Nothing. It's weird playing with a shield again. Demon Souls and probably a good way through Dark Souls, I would guess. I don't really remember. It's always sword and shield, sword and shield. At some point, that changed. I don't know what did it for me. I don't know what specifically was the moment where I was like, oh yeah, I'll just two-hand everything. But here we are. It's actually, well, it's not... I don't even know if it's really even a difference at all. Two-hand and one-hand and two-hand. If it is, it's very little, so that's nice. I might just keep the shield up. As much as I can, at least. Okay. Yeah. That is so much better than dying immediately. So much better. I don't like chasing him around, but we're still alive. Try to stay behind him as much as I can. careful here. Crap. Yeah, when Bloodborne was like, when like the lead up to Bloodborne, when I was like, oh, there's gonna be no shields, it's like I was like, yeah, okay, sure, do that, because that is absolutely me. Like, I was a-okay with that. Which was different, you know. It was when I started with Demon Souls, it was, I liked having that shield. I kind of liked that dynamic between having a shield in one hand and the sword in the other. At some point that changed, I really don't remember why. This fight is not going to be a problem at all. Part of me feels like a scrub for because I know, because the difference, just the sheer difference between using that shield right there is monumental. There's a Demon Souls reference. Boom. But at the same time, I am not ready for another boss to take me 3 to 4 hours. That's actually why I plan on going to Archdragon Peak right after this boss, because that's another one that I can immediately take out. For obvious reasons. I probably could have got him there. I kind of screwed up a little bit on maybe a little positioning wise, but this guy's not going to be a problem. We're on 7 deaths right now. I feel like I can get him in the next couple of tries. As long as things go as well as they did then, like that shield, man, this shield, holy crap. You kind of forget, I guess. Oh, there's our dog. You kind of forget, you know, that shields are actually really great. Now that said, this will probably be the only boss I use a shield on. We'll probably go back to 2-hand after this. It just seemed like this, from everything I read and from the little I've experienced so far, it definitely seemed like this was just like, you know what? Don't even deal with the headache. Just grab grab this shield. It'll make it so much less annoying. Oh. Not a great start. This camera at times can be something else.
Come out. Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. What could you
Okay.
fear?
Let's get back in the open so I'm not like up against the wall.
Dear little ocelot.
Crap. Yeah, that's kind of the one issue here. It's actually that move. $442 total. It's way too many times. My God. Ah. 443. Those thralls are not fun. Like, I knew it from the get-go. As soon as they showed up early in that game, I knew. Take an enemy that's really tiny, and they can move really fast. You're gonna have a bad time. See you later. And go. It will probably do me well to be... I don't know. I guess it's kind of tempting to be aggressive here, but maybe I should lay off a little bit more than I have been, because, you know, having my shield up, it does slow the stamina recharge a little bit, and this is going to be something to keep in mind for this fight, for sure. Pull back. Yeah. Yeah, that ice really eats into your health. This is a bad time to heal. It's, 444. No, not that much. 444. We're gonna take a quick bathroom break, so I'll leave you with that. And when we come back, we're gonna kill this guy. Kill him dead. It's one of those two. If we ever get that many deaths in this playthrough, I'm just giving up. 4,444. We're back. Time to take this guy down. 444. God. So I'm getting 9 on him. Might be 8. I don't remember, because that was... Was that the 3rd or 4th time I fought him with a shield? It's one of those two. I think 9's right. I always keep a tally, but sometimes, like, sometimes you die so often, you just every once or twice you like forget to make a tally mark. Sometimes you make one when you die from nope, just like that. Don't. Third attempt with shield, so that might be 8 against him. I might have to go back and check it out for sure. Because I gave him 5 attempts and then I put the shield, so I think it would make, that should be 8. Keep that in mind. It's important to keep these numbers. It's very important. So I've been like digging back into Bravely Second over the weekend. Because like it came out like 3 days after Dark Souls 3, and could not have been a worse time. Just could not possibly have been a worse time to come out. Despite my love for Bravely Default. And so I got like 10 hours in when it first came out, and I just wasn't feeling it at all. And I think, no, it's already up, isn't it? And I think part of that is sometimes it's like, it's really, I think I've talked about this before, specifically with Bravely Default. It's like, it's tough to go back. It's tough to like go to a game after playing some like Dark Souls, because it's, at least for me, it's like suddenly there are a lot of things from these games that I really want other games to do. And so in the case of Bravely Second, it was like the lore in the world building. I really, really like the way item descriptions in this game are written. There's something, I don't know, there's a style to that writing I really enjoy. And so like I started reading all like the monster descriptions in Bravely Second as I fought new enemies, and it was just like not good. None of it was interesting at all, and it really bummed me out. But I picked it up this past weekend. And, so that's probably 9, if I would guess. And I'm really into it now. Like I feel like maybe I've just given it enough time, and I've kind of come back and like, all right, I know what to expect from this game, and I'm not really trying to be too hung up on like reading all the item descriptions and everything. I'm just playing the game and enjoying it for what it is, and enjoying it for the reasons I enjoyed the first game. And so I'm on chapter 2, so I'm not really that far in, but I'm really into it. There's like some cool changes they've done, like little minor changes that I really like. And this character's idea is still great. She's still the best. It's a cool game. Story-wise, I don't know. I'm only a chapter in, so story-wise, I feel like nothing's really too crazy's been happening, but it's cool nonetheless. There is a class called the Catmancer. It lets you talk to cats, and that's pretty cool. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna say no, because I definitely still have my, at least I'm pretty sure I have my data. I know that there's like a bonus, I think, from the demo they put out for Bravely Second. Because I think the first game had that too. So I know there's a bonus for that, but I didn't play the demo at all. I don't remember getting any bonuses, and I'm pretty sure I still have my save data from the first game. So it's a little bit of a bummer. The only other thing is like, because they have the town rebuilding part, and I have one, but I never street pass with anybody, so I only have my one builder, and so it takes forever to build things. So that's a little bit of a bummer too, but alright, so I need to be a bit mindful of when I'm healing. Because even though he's not immediately attacking, if I heal in a bad spot, he can kill me pretty easily. Alright, I need to find a spot to heal now. Should be good right here. And get out of the way.
Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. Behold the child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? No. Show me,
And the camera in this battle is rough.
my dear little ocelot.
Alright, I need to be careful here. Just need to be very careful about how I do this now. I probably should treat a lot of this as just like, just take 1 or 2 swings. Oh, crap. This is how this goes. It does. You're right. I had this like moment, cause like, for me, like if you put a bestiary in your game, I'm in. Like, doesn't even matter. Like, doesn't even have like, I'm not even too concerned about the descriptions of enemies all that much. I mean, I am, but just having one in there, I love it. I think part of that's because of like Kingdom Hearts, like the Jiminy Cricket Journal, the best. I love that. Especially the way it just like stuff like that, where you can just like check boxes and stuff, and like kind of see your completion and everything. That was amazing. Love that. Dragon Quest VIII also, I felt like had a pretty cool one. Any Dragon Quest really, and so like, I think that's kind of where it started. But I had this like, I always have these moments where, freaking thralls, where like it's spelled bestiary, I think. And I guess it's probably pronounced bestiary. Like, is it bestiary or bestiary? Because I remember like I had this conversation with Eric like last year, and we were both like, yeah, bestiary. Then like if you look it up, it's spelled bestiary with no A. And it really like, it really messed with me. Felt like my entire life was a lie. It's like the Bernstein Bears thing. If you've ever heard of that, it's the whole like, yeah, like you spell bear, like Bernstein Bears, and you spell it, and it's like, yeah, it's B-E or however, whatever it is, and then if you go back, it's like spelled a totally different way. Or not totally different, but there's a few words or a few letters that are different. And so the whole theory is that we've actually been living in a split timeline. Which is great. One of my favorite conspiracy theories. Oh no, I'm right there with you. It should be bestiary, like, because they're beasts, they're monsters you're fighting. So why wouldn't it be called that? I mean, I guess you're like, you're besting them, so maybe is that where it comes from? We need to do detective work to figure out where that word, what's the origins of of that word. Probably something super obvious. Alright. This will be the one. This shield makes them a lot more manageable. Tolkien, that, yeah. That was really close. Yeah, I think I was low enough on health there that even with the shield, he's killing me. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think really it's over time it became, I really liked having those, like, the flavor text for the different monsters, and kind of, as you know, Dark Souls is really good about that, of giving them like context for the world, other than like, this monster is I don't know, like, he's got 2 hammers and like something weird and stuff. Like, Dark Souls is kind of takes it to a greater level where it gives you context for the world and stuff. And originally it was mostly about like, hey, here's just this really cool part of this game that I can just look at all of these really interesting enemy designs. Especially like Kingdom Hearts, like the Heartless there's always like a lot of different types of Heartless, and then Dragon Quest VIII, like Dragon Quest enemies just in general are really incredible. And so having a part of the game I could just look at all the designs was great. And oftentimes it's like, oh yeah, you've killed 900 of these. And it's like, yeah, I did. You're right. Because I'm the Keyblade Master. Like, of course I killed 900 of them. Alright.
Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, Ocelot. My dear little Ocelot.
Gotta be careful now. This is where it matters. Just gonna do the spin. See, the rough thing is you kind of have to chase him around. I guess depending on your positioning. Maybe I can get him over to like a smaller area. Like right there. I'll work something out here. Oh, I don't... Okay, this camera is not very nice. Am I really out of Estus? Oh no. That was it. So I think what happened there, I had my shield up. I think I might have just not had enough stamina. And so it just kind of broke through. It's 450. I feel pretty good about being able to get him. That was really risky, but I was actually shocked I was able to do it without having to heal. Huh. I wasn't looking at my Estus either. I thought I had more. I think it might be in my best interest not to immediately use it, like, because I'm so used to like just using it immediately once I get hit. Just because the way most of these enemies have gone, it's like, yeah, you know, one hit maybe you can survive, but a second, no way. With a shield, maybe I could survive a couple hits. Or actually, I definitely could. I know I can, because I did right there. I just need to be very careful, because I'm not, you know... if I with full health, I can survive some attacks, because I got that defensive boost, but... we'll see. I thought I was going to get him there. I was feeling pretty good, and I was like, maybe I'll get lucky. And that'll be that, but... nope. My dog believes in me. If I'm counting right, that was 12. But at this point, who even knows? Alright, so let's not heal as often. We could also just not get hit. That would be good too.
Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. What could you
Did not mean to hit square. Whatever.
show yourself, Ocelot? My dear little Ocelot.
Did it again.
Ocelot.
got some hits in. Come on. Yeah. So I need to watch out for that specifically because he can stun me there and then just charge at me. Kudos to anyone who does this without a shield, though. I mean, maybe it would be different if I would actually, like, stick to it. But I could see that being just the biggest pain. Oh, anyways, during loading times. Just gonna look up something. Next time I die, we'll continue my research. Alright. I guess if my number of Estus become an issue, I do have a shard that I can take to the blacksmith. Oh, it is 10:30 already. Holy crap. It's okay. I planned on going long tonight. So this is from ancient-origins.net. A bestiary, or Bestiarium vocabulum, is a book of beast. Let's see, rich decorative images illuminated in gold and silver. Illustrated volumes popular throughout North Africa. Oh my god, these pop-ups. Okay. If you're making a website, that's a rant for another time. But anyways, these illustrated volumes popular throughout North Africa and the Middle East, especially Europe during the 12th century, not only contained observations on the natural world, but also imparted a moral lesson to medieval readers. Some pretty cool images of, like, bestiaries or bestiaries on here. That's cool. This webpage is not available. We'll continue our research later. I think the thing I, like, as someone who has made websites and designed them in the past, making mobile websites is really cool. It's not that hard. You know, it's pretty cool to, like, take a design and kind of reconfigure it for a phone or a tablet and think about, like, okay, you know, what's the important things? Like, what should we show here? What are things that, like, aren't that important? And how can we make this look best on a phone? And I imagine somewhere there's a designer who's like, yeah, I've got this really great translation of this website to a mobile design, and then, like, someone walks up behind them and it's just like, hey, yeah, we're gonna have, like, 50 pop-up ads also. And, you know, the designer, I imagine, is sitting there like, no, we're not. That's a bad idea. That's bad. Don't do that. And then they do it anyways. And then every time I see a website that does that, which feels like every single website, I just immediately close that tab, or the browser, or whatever. Because it's just like, stop doing that. It's not, especially on a phone, because it's like, it's one thing if it's on a desktop, you can click the X button, whatever. But on a phone, the X button's always, like, really small. So it, like, takes a few taps to get it. Oh, it's the worst. End of rant. Osiris, you're going down right now.
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons.
Oh, I gotta get out of the way. Okay. So that dodge was great. It's so just instinctual to just immediately heal. Okay. I'm trying to get as many hits in as I can here. All right. Thanks. Need better positioning here. Alright. It's a little bit better. No. Okay. Oh, you just had to move. You had to move right there. Die. Yes! Yeah, we did it! Last time I made a website with when geosites was a thing. Oh my god. My first website wasn't with geosites. There was another, I think it was like WordPress technically, but there was like a Weebly, or I don't remember what it was called. But it was like a similar thing where it was like the stuff that you made was just really bad. Or like you couldn't make something good unless you really knew what you were doing. But I was lucky in that my interest in making websites came when I was actually taking class. Like it was right before I started learning about it in school, but it was like in the midst of taking classes that was eventually going to lead to like a web development unit. And so luckily it was around a time when I was actually going to start learning, hey, this is how you make stuff that looks good. But before we talk any more about that, awesome. Great. I'm really happy about that. So I think 13 is the number we're ending on in that. I might have to go back and watch some of this just to make sure that's the right number. I feel good. Okay, let's get rid of this shield. We don't need it anymore. I'm really happy about that. I wasn't really sure what to expect from that boss going in. I was kind of thinking that could be something that we'd be stuck on for a while, but hour and a half into this stream, and like 20 or so minutes of that was actually just going and doing some other stuff before this, so that wasn't that bad, you know. And it's actually a lot. I died more on the Abyss Watchers than I did against this guy, so I feel good. I'm a bit of a scrub for using a shield, but hey, at least I accept it. So the plan is we're gonna get this this Jester, and we're gonna go to Archdragon Peak and do some stuff there. And we're gonna also activate the bonfire. For curiosity's sake, we might go fight Champion Gundyr once, just to see. I expect him to be the hardest fight in the game for me. But I mean, I am interested enough just to see how it pans out. But at Archdragon Peak, there are 2 bosses, the first of which is very, very easy. It's just a matter of getting in place and doing the drop-down attack, and from there you're good. It's a 1-hit KO on him. That way he'll learn what it feels like to be a solo level 1 character in this game. And then that way, once we get that boss taken care of, we'll have 4 remaining. So, and I feel like from there, each night will likely just be dedicated to one of those bosses, because I expect all 4 of them to be really, really hard. Okay. Well, Champion Gundyr, we'll spare you for tonight. We'll spare you for now. I don't know, you don't want to deal with this. So we're going to Irithyll Dungeon. Oh, maybe I can load that website up again, so we can learn more about bestiaries or bestiaries. There's some cool images on this website. I just wish it didn't have really crappy pop-ups. These enemies. This doesn't really... I mean, I guess it talks about, like, the time frame that these kinds of, like, documents and books were appearing in. It doesn't really say specifically if there's like, one specific moment in time of, like, the first documented one. Oh, I already got the thing up here. Okay. So we're looking for Path of the Dragon. That's the plan, yeah. We were archiving all of the Resident Evil 6 stream. But then, like, we went through Jake's campaign, and I kept forgetting to archive it, because I was just busy with other stuff, and then I went to archive it, and it was gone, because it had been, like, a week or 2. So that stream is lost, but that's also a stream I don't feel all that bad about losing, because it's been a lot of us just being like, man, this game's really bad. Or just laughing at in disbelief. I'm excited about RE5. I've never played RE5. I'm really excited to play it. Colin's going to co-op it with me. We're probably gonna wait. I think the hope is, I haven't talked to him yet. I hope that we're gonna get through RE5 a lot faster than we've done Resident Evil 6. And I think hopefully, like, if I know he likes it, like, if I'm enjoying it, that'll definitely, it'll hype me up more to actually want to stream consistently, like, every single night. I don't know if we'll be able to do every night, but hopefully we'll be able to get through that game quicker. And I'm wanting to, like, go through the DLC and stuff too, like Lost in Nightmare and stuff, because I think that's stuff that I would really, really like a lot. But I don't think we're gonna start streaming that until sometime in July. That game comes out on the 28th of June, which is the same day that, like, Star Ocean 5 comes out, and the third game for Zero Escape comes out, and there's, like, another one. There's, like, 3 or 4 different, like, really huge games out that day. And it's just like, oh my god, what are you guys doing? You're killing me. But yes, we are gonna stream all of that, and I'm excited for it. We would stream as soon as it comes out, but I also, like, I don't know if I can buy another game that day. That's kind of where the issue is, but we'll see. It can't be worse than Resident Evil 6, though, right? Yeah, I feel bad because I always forget the actual name. It's like zero time, like something time dilemma. Is it Zero Time Dilemma? That sounds right. ZTD. I'm, like, on such a huge media blackout for that. Like, I don't even remember the name of it. Just know it's the third one. But, you know, Virtue's Last Reward and 999 both are just unbelievable. So I am super hyped up on it. I've just done everything humanly possible to not read anything about it. So if I die at all against this boss, it's gonna be cut because some of these enemies are gonna, like, come up from behind and take me out very quick. But hopefully it won't give me a problem. Come on. This guy up here, the big one, I've had trouble getting around sometimes, but look at that. Squeeze right on by him. Oh, no. He's got a reach on that weapon. Is that 54? I guess that counts as 1 against this guy. Ancient Wyvern. It's kind of a weird boss. Especially, like, a weirder one to be counting how many times I've died. But we'll count it. June's, I mean, like, it's one of those weird things that I am A-okay with No Man's Sky being pushed back. Like, I'm unbelievably excited about that game. And I've still got faith in it. Like, I don't think it's gonna be, I don't know. I'm not down on it at all, but there was just no way I was gonna be fitting that game in Star Ocean and, like, all these other. And there's also what is it? Tokyo Mirage Sessions is coming out around that time, and, like, I'm curious about that. June is packed, and so, like, you know, I'm okay with, you know, losing a couple if need be. Perhaps that's, like, selfish. I don't know. I want, like, I think it's preferred that when No Man's Sky comes out, that it comes out, like, and there's nothing else for a few weeks or something. That's how I want to play that game, is just for it to be that game and that game alone. There's nothing else to even worry about. Yeah, the death threats and stuff is kind of insane. I guess that's par for the course these days, unfortunately. Like, not that it's okay at all, not that it's an acceptable behavior, but the internet is a nasty place. A really nasty place sometimes. It's also great. Like, I don't know, it's a struggle. 'Cause I always try to be, like, very optimistic and very in a good mood about it. Right? Like I always try to think positively about things, and it can be tough, but it's a bummer. Like that's the thing, like about Sean, like seeing him tweet and be like, "Yeah, I've got all these like death threats, but don't worry, I've got my pillow fort set up." Like you gotta love that. He's like, you take it in stride. Like I don't blame people for like honestly, if I was getting death threats for something I did, that would probably mess me up really bad. But I think you gotta commend people for being able to be like, yeah, it's whatever, and just shrug it off and keep going. Yeah, well, at least it's not one hit kill. I don't know if I ever watched him on Colbert. I should go check that out. He's great. He's super great. Like, I would rather them not roll out No Man's Sky at their E3 press conference again this year, because I've seen enough. But if he shows up on stage, that's cool. It's like him and like Mark Cerny. I could just listen to forever. Just talk to me about anything you want, and I'm there. So I guess once we beat this guy, I didn't really plan that far ahead. I guess we could go for the Nameless King. I mean, we might as well because we're here. It's not that long of a journey to get to him. Oh, that was really close. My plan is to do Nameless King and Champion Gundyr before the Princes, and then of course the final boss, so my plan is to take those two out first anyways, so it'd be Nameless King or Champion Gundyr. I guess we're here, so we might as well go for him. Alright, climb up that ladder. No, climb. Go fast. Thank you. Channel your inner Sonic. Alright, well, we should be good, unless something really unexpected happens here. Be like the one time I ever missed the drop. Or something. There we go. That feels good. 2 bosses down in one night. That's never going to happen again. So 4 bosses left. Okay. So we are at... It's at 11. I'll go for 1 more hour. Because I'm feeling good. I feel like today's gone well. Compared to the last few nights of streaming, it's gone really, really well. And we'll go ahead and do the Nameless King and go for him and see... Kind of feel it out and see how that fight goes. I imagine... I don't know. I expect the hardest part of that fight might be the first part. Weirdly enough. We'll see. I recently fought him on New Game Plus Plus. And that was fun. Alright. 456. So, okay. I do want to take this moment, though. Like, we're at 456. Consume King... I think 13 deaths was the total. Give or take maybe one in either direction, I'm not sure. And then the dragon, pretty sure that was 3. So we got 4 left. The most I've died was the dancer, that was 111. Pontiff was 107. If I'm gonna make a final guess for where our total is going to end by the end of the game, I'm going to be incredibly optimistic. And I'm going to go like 650. Gives me room for a little under 200 between those last 4 bosses. And even though I feel like some of the hardest bosses are yet to come. So we'll see. There's one area coming up that might make the run to this next bonfire kind of rough, because there's like a dragon that pops down, or some other enemies that can kind of, you can get caught on. May get a little rough. No matter what happens, I think tomorrow... let me get away first. I think tomorrow's stream, we're probably going to start off... because at this point we'll have pretty much all the areas opened up, for the most part. We're probably going to start off by... Crap. Yeah, I should have kept going. By going around and getting the rest of the Estus shards. That way I have them. I think I have 3 more, because I've got 1 on me that I need to turn in, so I have 12. So I'd have 3 more to get. For some reason, the guys, those little, like, turtle-looking things that were rolling towards me, I don't know why, I always have the hardest time dodging them. I always try to, like, roll out of the way, and it never works. It always seems super weird to me, because they never seem like, it doesn't seem like they'd be hard to dodge. But here we are. I guess it's because you can't really, like, it's easy to get stuck on them. So even if you roll, like, you avoid that damage at first, but then you're, like, just right in front of them. And this dragon can be a pain. Oh, there we go. Well, sort of had it. Oh, it's so annoying. It's the worst. We'll do our check-in on the bestiary stuff. This is from Wikipedia. Bestiaries were made available in the Middle Ages. History, here we go, that's what we're looking for. The earliest bestiary, in the form in which it was later popularized, was an anonymous 2nd century Greek volume called the Physiologus? Yeah, I've heard about that. That's familiar. Which itself summarized ancient knowledge and wisdom about animals in the writings of classical authors, such as Aristotle's Historia Animalium. Various works, yep. Yep. Alright, well, if I find any other interesting tidbits during the loading screens, we'll share them. This is an educational playthrough. And slightly entertaining. I know some of these words, yeah. That's how I feel sometimes with stuff like that. It's like, yeah, sure. Ooh. It's not a great spot. I wonder if we could just kill this dragon. I bet that would be a really smart thing to try. Right? God. These guys do not mess around. See if I can like roll past all of them. If I can kind of get lucky. Maybe right here. Maybe no. Ah, I'm like just on the edge of it. I'm really excited about going to the PlayStation movie theater experience thing again. It's like the third year they've done it. I've gone to the other two. They've been really fun. It's such a weird thing. Like, you know, and it would never happen, I guess, but like it'd be kind of cool if they just did it for every press conference, because it's really fun just to kind of be there in the midst of other people who are just losing their minds at just anything that interests them. I mean, obviously the Final Fantasy VII thing last year was just pure insanity. I've never seen anything like it when it comes to this kind of thing. Oh my god, yes. What luck. But I'm excited to go again, but because I was kind of nervous that or not nervous. I guess like at this point I thought maybe they weren't doing it this year because they were waiting a while and we're 2 weeks out, but better believe I'll be refreshing that page come like 1 p.m. tomorrow. Alright, bonfire. E3 of Dreams, indeed. I don't, like, yeah, I'm like, I feel like I need to go in just for everyone. Like, I've always, I was telling my friend at work, I was like, you know, my viewpoint has always been, like, you know, my interest falls typically around Sony and Nintendo, mostly just because those are, like, JRPGs are typically on one of those two platforms more often than not, and that's kind of where most of my interests fall. But I've always felt like I always enjoy all the conferences. I feel like Microsoft always has like the best pacing, if that like matters to you. I always feel like they're just fun to watch, even though a lot of the stuff there doesn't necessarily interest me. But like going into this year, it's like I actually legitimately want to see a few Microsoft stuff, mostly Scalebound and Recore, but like other than that, like I feel like I need to go in knowing like, look, listen, last year was some freak anomaly. Like The Last Guardian, Final Fantasy VII, and Shenmue 3 all happened within like an hour of each other, and that's insane. That is absolutely insane, and that will never happen again, probably. But then like I know that days before the event, I'm gonna be sitting there like, all right, guys, here we go. Like, these 5 incredible things are absolutely gonna happen. But I don't know. I feel like for me personally, like of the things I would want to see, a lot of it actually is kind of revolving around Square Enix. Like anything that they're touching right now has been, I feel really good about. Weirdly enough, like it feels like a strange thing to say after last generation, but man, like Final Fantasy 15 is looking good. Anything Kingdom Hearts related. If they announce like a new world of Kingdom Hearts 3, we're set. That's all I need. I'm good. not expecting it, but... Alright, Nameless King. I love this fight. This is a tough one, or it can be tough, I guess, depending on your build. I expect this to be a really, really hard fight. What kind of damage am I doing? Okay, not bad against him. Curious how it's going to differ once I actually fight the real deal here. I also love, like, lore-wise, the context for this fight is pretty great. I guess it's kind of fan servicey. I don't care. It's the best. Consider, like, all the debates about the Firstborn and all that jazz. It's so good. Alright, so far so good. I like this fight. One, it's just, I just think it's a cool fight. But I also I feel like there's a spectacle to it. Just like visually, it's a really interesting fight. Both phases. It reminds me a lot of the final boss of the Bloodborne DLC, which is also like a really challenging fight, just a really fun fight. But like visually, it's like this really, really interesting, just area in and of itself. It's super cool. Oh, a little late. Not a one-shot, thank God. I was worried that it might be. Oh, well, I think that is. So, I'll put you as nameless on this little sheet of paper. That's a 1. It takes us to 460. First phase is going okay. It's not too bad. Yeah, so we've got Tangled. They did show you in Sid's Tower a little bit, didn't they? We know, like, Big Hero 6 is a thing. I'm trying to think of what else they've... I don't know. If there's anything Kingdom Hearts I'm down for. Show me. I really want to get back into the mobile game, because I played a lot of it, and I haven't touched it in a few weeks. But it was fun. I was enjoying it. I do feel like it'll be nice this year, like now that The Last Guardian is real again. I feel like I can go into their press conference and just sit back and be like, alright, just show me whatever, I don't care. It's kind of the one game I really wanted to see. And now I don't want to see any of it. Put that game out. Give me a date. When? I'd like a Persona 5 release date. Preferably one that finds it within the year 2016. Preferably. Got hope. So I do pretty good damage against this guy. Oh, okay, that fire... The fire is not hard to dodge. You can actually roll right through it. But that looks like it's a one-hit kill. Seems like some of his attacks might be one hit as well. The lightning wasn't, surprisingly. I'm curious how much of his attacks in phase 2 are going to be one-hit kills, because that could be a mess. That could just be the worst thing. I imagine most of them will be like really, really close, but not quite. We'll see. I'm not gonna have any idea what to think about this fight until we get to phase 2 and I get to kind of play around with it a bit, because I don't know what to really even expect. Okay. That's 3 against him. Maybe we'll go to 11:30 and then switch over and try Champion Gundyr just a few tries. And that'll be like the last half hour. see where I stand on each of those boss fights. I always get my souls back. Bethesda's another one. I'm really, I don't know. Like I'm just super hyped for Dishonored 2. Like that's kind of the thing. Is I'm really excited for that. I don't know. Hopefully they'll have something like no one expects, like some crazy new thing. More Doom single-player DLC. Give me that. Sign me up. Yeah, the camera in the first half of this fight is not great. Ah. I thought I might have been far enough away. I'm just like in a really good mood too. We've taken 2 bosses down, so at this point, even if I die a ton right now, don't care. Like, I feel like I've already achieved my goals for today. So now we're just having a good time. We've got 4 bosses left, all of which I really like fighting. I know they're all going to be really challenging, but it's fine. It's fine. King of the Storm. Well, I guess the first phase of this fight can be a little, you know, sometimes I would like to be able to start at phase 2. It's 5. Mostly that's just because of the camera. The camera during this first phase has its moments where it can be a little rough. Mostly when he gets out of view and you're not locked on. I saw the inside of his throat. Aw. Okay, what are you doing now? Flying over. You're probably gonna do your lightning, or maybe fire. Nope, that. You know what would be really cool? Is if, because like you can lock onto him. I guess it'd be kind of cheap, because like if you had sorceries, you could just snipe at him. But like it'd be kind of cool if like you could actually damage him in the first phase, and then like when you got the dragon down, like he would have lower health. The camera's the real boss in this whole series. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're certainly not wrong about that. 465. the way I typically approach this is I stay locked on, and when I go up to attack the dragon, I actually like will remove the lock on and then kind of position it back, kind of like that. It's kind of usually how I try it. I feel like that way typically I don't have as many camera issues. Oh, I totally rolled there. $466. It feels, I don't know, it just feels cool to be this far. Like, it's just one of those things that, like, you're, after the Dancer in Dragonslayer, it was like 2 back-to-back bosses that were both just hours and hours of just nothing. And heartbreak as well. And so it's nice to go through 2, like, really quick. And, like, be making, like, really nice progress. Feels good. Hoping I can, like, knock that dragon head over as well. That was super close. Then I could just get a critical on him. Kind of end the first phase a little quicker. Alright, so we can roll through this. No! I gotta get the timing back on that. Because I've done it before. Like, I know you can do it. You can roll through the fire if you time it right. And I've gotten pretty good at it with one of my other characters. But it's okay. I guess because it's a one-hit kill, maybe I should just not even risk it. Maybe it'd be best just to kind of run to the side and avoid it. Because I was doing well before that, so... Probably give him a couple more goes and switch to Champion Gundyr. See what that fight looks like at soul level 1. That fight, I don't know. I anticipate Champion Gundyr to be the hardest boss in the game, for me, at least. I'm thinking he's going to give me the most trouble compared to anyone else. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know. We'll find out. Alright, run to the side, run to the side, roll, roll. Okay. We made it. Only got 1 hit, but that's okay. I'm alive, that's what matters. I keep forgetting he follows that one up. $468. Lightning, boom, dodge. 1, 2, 3. 3 hits, not bad. Fire. Roll. Roll. 1 hit. I need to reposition myself here. Okay. One hit. Roll. Alright, got the timing on it. I don't know where he is. Okay. And roll. Got hit. Don't care. Alright, what are we looking at? And one. Here comes the fire. I just can't get it. Doma, welcome to the stream. Hello, and thank you for watching. We're coming up in the last 30 minutes of this. To catch you up to speed here, we've got 4 bosses left. We defeated the Consumed King and Ancient Wyvern tonight. That was the 10th try against Nameless King. Still not past the first phase, so we gotta figure that out, but because we made some good progress, I do want to go back to... see if I can find it. I guess it's way back over here, isn't it? The Untended Graves, because I want to give Champion Gundyr a go. I want to see how that fight goes before we close up. So we're gonna go about 30 minutes on this guy and give him some shots here. I'm expecting him to be one of the hardest fights of the game for me, so I'm not expecting things to go very well. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter because I'm happy with the progress made tonight. And then tomorrow night, I'll choose between Champion Gundyr or Nameless King, which of the two I want to focus on taking down tomorrow. Kind of leaning towards Nameless King, but we'll see. We'll see how. Wow. Okay. We'll see how Champion Gundyr goes. 470. Oh my god. Dog. So our dog's name is Fox. I may have referred to him as Fox before, but I don't like him. He's a Pomeranian Chihuahua mix, and he barks at everything. And he doesn't stop. Never. Aldrich, yeah. Aldrich took me some time. Are you also, I'm assuming also soul level 1? Worst thing about Aldrich is those arrows. Alright, what kind of damage are we doing against you? Alright, that was a stupidly aggressive start to that fight, but... Oh no, okay. Okay. How are you enjoying it? As your, I guess like... I mean, Bloodborne's, you know, pretty similar, but... Aldrich is rough. The worst part for him is that second phase when those arrows start kind of homing in on you. Nice. Depending on what you have, I would recommend going back and playing some of the other ones at some point. I do think it's interesting. Like there's it's always like an interesting conversation of like which one's harder. Because I actually think this game probably is one of the harder ones, even though to me it might not be. I don't know. It's such a weird conversation, but definitely, yeah. Like these are great games. I guess it sounds like Bloodborne's kind of your in on these. And I've kind of felt like it was, I don't know, I always felt like Bloodborne was a bit more accessible in a weird way. And so it was always like a good starting point. But I'm also like not an expert at all, so. Yeah, keep at it. Like Aldrich is, yeah, I don't know, I feel like there's sometimes with him there is a bit of luck because he can, depending on the moves that he does, there's like a few that are really easy to deal with. I think that's how I ended up beating him here, like on my soul level 1 guy, is I got a little lucky with some of the moves that he chose to do, but those arrows. I always just, like, in that second phase, when he does the homing arrows, I always lock on and just kind of try to run around while also maintaining stamina. It's a little tough to do, but I think eventually, like, over time, you kind of figure it out and you learn how to deal with it, but it's not fun. This guy. He's so aggressive. Forgot he does that. I need to be mindful of my stamina. That kick, God. I'm dead. Yep. What's your build like? Out of curiosity, mostly. I mostly I think with all these games I always start with like knight, and I usually use some sort of sword, two-hand. I think I had the katana that you get, like, or the Uchi katana or whatever that you get early on. That was like my first character. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like I said, like the Uchi katana is the one I use fully upgraded, and you get that sword like right up at the beginning of the game. Of course. Sure. It's a fun way to die. Yeah, I actually typically do that too. Like I mean, for this character, I haven't really taken it into consideration too much, but I like wearing armor that I think looks nice, but I also hardly ever wear anything that weighs me down. I always try to stay as light as I can, just because I like rolling. For me, like, I don't know, I think the easiest thing to say is just, it's always good, like, more health is always good. That's obvious, that probably is a no-brainer, but I always, it's always health, anything that's gonna increase my endurance or my stamina, and then whatever my weapon scales with. So for you, it might be strength, probably strength. That's typically just, like, it's usually those three things. Are kind of the key things to kind of be concerned about, but... But also, like, you're also at the area of the game that, like, there's a pretty significant difficulty increase around that area, so it's, you know, it's not surprising to, like, or it's not, it shouldn't be surprising that, like, maybe you're having trouble there. If you've, like, gone through the rest, or so far, like, earlier in the early game, like, not had much trouble. So, definitely getting into Irithyll, it's pretty rough. Alright. So the first phase, not bad. That part, yeah. His second phase is so freaking hard. Since it's your first, like, well, it's, I mean, you played Bloodborne, yeah, he's very fast, and he's aggressive, and most of his attacks are probably going to be one-hit kills, I'd imagine. Or very close to. Like, that's the issue. Like, even if he doesn't kill me with a hit, because of how fast he is, I'm not going to have a lot of time to, like, recover. Or I'm going to need to find very specific windows to do so. Abyss Watchers, yeah. That was, yeah, that was the first fight for me that I had trouble with my first go around. So you played Bloodborne, like, I don't know how much you've gotten into, like, recognizing how weapons scale with stuff, because, like, they have, like, letter scaling with different stats. So I think the sword you're using, like, scales with strength, so, like, that would be the stat you would want to specifically increase. Because that would, beyond just, like, leveling up the sword, that would also help with the damage output. It's weird, like, that was something that I didn't even think about until, like, Dark Souls 2, which was my third game. Somehow I just never knew, like, I knew about it, but I never really considered it. It's the weird things that you don't really think about, or things that you don't even know until you look it up. Man. Not using embers. I think I might have one or two. What I try to do, specifically with this playthrough, because they're limited, I mean, I could grind for them if I wanted to. I usually wait and see, like, maybe, is this a boss that maybe I could use that extra health on, and then I'll use them. But it's also, like, because they hit so hard at soul level 1, it kind of doesn't matter. Yeah, like, there are wikis out there that would teach you so much, and would be really helpful. Like, it's one of those things where I'm always very, very careful about spoilers, for myself personally. But I don't think it, you play the game however you want to play it, right? Like, it doesn't matter. As long as you're enjoying it, that's kind of the key thing. But really, just at the base level, basically, like, if you look at a weapon's stats, like, there's all those different numbers. But specifically, there's, like, letter scaling. So it's like, DCBAS, and so S is obviously the like the best scaling you can get. And basically what that means is like if you have a weapon that has S scaling or high scaling with strength, for instance, the more you level up strength, the better that weapon's gonna get. Even if it's already leveled up like to +10 or something. And so when you're talking about like what you should put your souls into when you level, like look at the weapon that you're using and kind of factor that in too, because that's another way to kind of up your damage output. And that's kind of like at a very base level of knowledge there. Like there's more to it, but that's kind of all you really need to know. That kick. Boy. So the thing I have the hardest time with is when he charges. I always have a really hard time dodging that. Oh, come on. Heart racing. I think I might be able to beat this guy relatively easily. Or not easily. Oh, easy should not be the word I'm using right there, but okay. Maybe a little less aggressive in that second phase. I needed more stamina than I had. Oh, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. Last week there was a boss I was on that I multiple times had him down to one hit, but specifically there was a point where his health bar was so low that the red bar was just not showing up, and I died. And that was demoralizing. Wow. I gotta heal immediately. Maybe I'll just spend tomorrow on this guy. The way this is going. Be very careful when I heal. Kick. Crap. $476 altogether. It is always All right. Well, hey, thanks for checking out the stream and chatting for a bit. I really appreciate it. Like, I really appreciate when people like stop and watch. Good luck on Aldrich. Definitely don't give up. You'll get it eventually. He's a bit of a butt, but thank you. And yeah, I don't know. Just good luck on Aldrich, for sure. You'll get him. All right, we need to get away from this. And get him out in the open and just be super aggressive on him, I guess. That kick. Oh, one more roll. Alright, so we're going to give him a few more goes before we call it tonight, but no matter how, even if I don't beat him tonight, which I'm not expecting to, I feel really good about the progress we made tonight. Got 2 bosses down, we got 4 to go. Champion Gundyr, actually, like, I've had some really good runs against him. One I got really close to, so hopefully I can keep that up against him and we don't end up dying a ton of times, but yeah, like, I mean, Champion Gundyr looks very much beatable. He looks very beatable, which I was not expecting. Nameless King could be a problem, for sure. I'll know more once I can actually get to phase 2 and see what that's like. And then after that, we just got the other 2 bosses. And we are almost done. I'll be really enjoyed this run. I'll be glad it's over. I'll be glad when it's over. It'll be nice to like play this game and not be worried about every little thing that happens. Although I am tempted to like stream another playthrough and just like create another character. I don't know if I'd specifically do like a really tough challenge run. Maybe we'd find something. Think of another challenge, like something cool to do beyond just like making a new character. And I'd probably be up for streaming it. Even though I said before, like, you know, after this playthrough and getting the platinum, I'd be done till the DLC. It's just, you know, I keep wanting to play it. So, we'll see. Don't want to think too far ahead. Champion Gundyr. We can do this. I can take you. Kick. $479. Maybe we'll give him one more go. We'll end on 480. If we die. We're gonna die. I actually wonder if perhaps I guess I keep that stamina boost if I just have it equipped. It doesn't weigh me down that much, so maybe it would actually be better just to keep this on. Because with as aggressive as I'm being against him, it would be really nice to have an additional little boost to my stamina recharge. Because it's definitely needed. It doesn't seem to weigh me down that much. I think I'm still rolling pretty quick. So, we'll see. And I'm not using the shield. I'm still two-handing. That counts, right? Kick. Every time. Alright, come back out in the open. Ooh. Oh. Alright, man. Yeah, so okay, when he does that, I need to be sure to roll again, because he's probably gonna do that kind of like short spin attack. So that's 11 on Gundyr. That is 480 total altogether, and that is gonna do it for tonight's stream. That's episode 13 of a Soul Level 1 Dark Souls 3 playthrough. Whoa, okay. It has been... We made progress tonight. We made some really good progress. I feel good about it. We're just gonna lay down, stretch out for a bit, cool down. Thank you for watching, as always, of course. It's been a fun one. It's been a fun stream. I feel like it's been a really good one, too. Like, I felt good about it. So we'll be back here tomorrow, probably around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I think we're going to focus tomorrow's stream entirely on Champion Gundyr. I don't know how long it's going to take him down. I feel good about beating him tomorrow night. With the way those runs win, I feel like he is very much beatable. Without a lot of practice, I feel pretty good about that. Then again, I felt really good about Dragonslayer, and we saw how that turned out. But I'm feeling good. So tomorrow we'll be back. We'll focus entirely on Champion Gundyr, and then from there, after that, we'll have 3 bosses left. Probably go for Nameless King after that, I would assume. With any luck, we'll be done with this playthrough this week. We'll see if that actually pans out to be true or not, but once again, thank you for watching, as always, and until next time, this is Dark Souls. Oh, there's a little ghost dude. Look at you. Alright, I'll see you next time.